Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Sage Canaday after a second place finish at the Rut 50k. How do you feel about it, Sage?
It was solid. The course surprised me a bit. It was a lot more technical than I thought. People had warned me, but they were right.
It was really technical.
It was, yeah.
Have you run trails that technical before? I mean, even in training?
No. It reminded me more of like when we actually did like class 3 scrambling in mountains in Colorado, where you actually had to use your hands and grab at the rocks to pull yourself up. Or pull yourself up with a rope too. They had the safety rope up there.
Did they?
Yeah.
On the main ridge going up to Lone Peak?
Or? There were lots of ropes.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's some true sky running right there.
It is, yeah. I was thinking like, this is what it must be like in Europe. I mean, I've done Transvolcania, but yeah, this was rugged mountains.
Well, you sort of went out like would be expected, but you put some time on the field really quick. Was that, I mean, a couple minutes?
I went out pretty aggressive. I mean, that was my plan, and that's the strategy I'd always use. The thing is, it was a good mix of runnable trails with the climbs, but going against a guy like Killian, I mean, maybe I'm 30 seconds a mile faster than him on the smooth single track where it's kind of flat, and then we hit the first scree field at mile 14, and I'm doing a 20-minute mile power hike up this loose rock, and he's probably doing a 15-minute mile. So that lead went like that in 1 mile, and he basically caught me right there, and then you got the rocky descent, and that's the same story. It just got exponentially bad for me.
But you drop off about 2/3 of the way through the race, and stayed about the same back, like 10 minutes back?
Yeah, I think... yeah, he had 4 minutes, at least 4 minutes on me at the top of Lone Peak, and then it's like probably close to 2 miles on scree descent, really steep and gnarly. So he put a lot more time on me there. So then, yeah, it was about 10 minutes, and then the last 8 or so miles are pretty smooth, runnable track. It was beautiful. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom.
You too.
That's the peanut gallery up there, a little Tom Owens and Anna Frost action. But so how did you feel? Like, you went out aggressive, then you had this super technical section that was more technical than you even expected. How did you feel that last third of the race? Were you able to get back into running rhythm and mode?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking over my shoulder because I thought I was going to get reeled in. I was hurting pretty bad because I took it out so hard. I was pretty much redlining it the whole way after that, so... There was a lot of pain and suffering, and I knew I couldn't catch Killian. He was just in a totally different class, so I was more worried about, some of the other guys, especially the Europeans who I knew were really strong descenders. I was like, well, they might have caught up to me a lot more, and yeah. I never knew what the time gaps were because you don't know who's behind you. So I was just looking over my shoulder and trying not to blow up because I was right on edge, and I mean, it hurt.
But you made it. How do you feel, like before the race, you're talking about how Killian is sort of a benchmark when you race him. How do you feel like you were in comparison to your other efforts against him in the past?
I mean, on this type of course, he's in a totally different league than I am. That's
but do you think
sure.
you're improving on this? Do you think this was a pretty good effort for you?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, considering the depth of the field, like I was definitely happy to hold on to second. It was definitely a really, really tough race for me, just because you're power hiking so much and it's so steep. Like that first scree field, I'll have to check the Strava data, but it was probably 40% grade, and it's just so loose rock, and you're just really just grinding it out. And for me, like I'm not as efficient power hiking. I don't have the neuromuscular coordination. I don't have the musculature. Whereas Killian I just saw him just zip up Lone Peak?
Lone Peak, yeah.
Yeah, he was just pulling away, just power hiking, and then on the descents, it's the same thing. It's exponential.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close with me.
So you got some work left to do on that terrain.
I mean, based on my strengths, like I don't know if I'll ever be like a great technical runner. Like it's not going to happen. It's not my suit of cards, but I believe it's a learned skill. Like you could definitely work on some things, and you could develop your musculature over training and years, and definitely improve. But I mean, he's a pure mountain runner. That's that's what he does, and he's the best at it.
Yeah.
So it was really impressive to see him pull
So
away
this was,
and win convincingly.
Last year, were you second in the skyrunning overall ranking?
I did finish up second, yeah.
And I think, I haven't done the math, but I'm pretty sure that's the case again.
I think, yeah, Killian's first and I'm second again. I think the points might be closer, though, because
I think so.
I didn't do as bad as I did at Yurok last year, so. And he got second at Transvolcania.
He did, so you have a third,
so, yeah.
a third, a first, and then a second at a high point race. And
yeah, this is 20% more points because it's the final.
So what do you have left on your schedule for the year?
I'm going to France in October. There's a race called Les Templiers, and we've got a good U.S. contingent. They wanted a lot of top U.S. 50-mile runners, trail runners, to go against a lot of the top Europeans. So it's at the end of October. It's
like 72K, like 1,100 feet, 11,000 feet of climb, excuse me. But
yeah, 11,000. Pretty runnable trails. I think it's in southern France. Mm-hmm. We got Chris Vargo, Zach Miller, Matt Flaherty, I know, is on the men's team, and then Cassie Scallion and Magdalena Louis Boulet on the women's team.
I think Eliza's on it.
Oh, and Eliza. Okay. Yeah, I don't know the full team. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Anytime you could travel internationally is a big privilege and luxury. So it's exciting, and I think it'll be a fair race and probably more of my style of racing.
Are you excited to switch your training back a little more away from the technical and steep climbs?
Yeah.
More running?
Yeah. I mean, I was seriously worried about hurting myself today. Like, I kind of went down a couple times pretty hard, and I'm scared. Like, I thought I could break an ankle, but I didn't. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into marathon mode. I think I'll try to do Houston now. Originally I was going to do Chicago, but
and when is Houston?
That's in January.
Okay.
So I'll do Les Templiers, then North Face, which is another real pretty fast runnable race. Probably more of my
even
forte.
More so than Templiers, probably.
Probably, yeah. I've never run the full course there, but it looks good. I like those fire roads in Marin. And then, so Les Templiers and North Face 50.
Well, congratulations on your second place here.
Thank you.
Good luck at Templiers.
Thanks.